So, you have a window motor. Fucking mosquitoes. You have a window motor. It doesn't want to work. So you have three causes. One could be the amplifier, one is the window motor itself, and three is the window switch, the up and down one. Least common one is window switch. I'm not 100% sure, why as to why it would go bad. Second reason, which is actually the reason why I'm gonna make this video, is the window motor. Most of the time this window motor is perfectly even fine. I'm gonna show you in a bit what is the main cause of why this doesn't want to work, and then the main reason is your amplifier. But luckily for me, it's not even the amplifier. So I had this window motor in my car. I actually had the original, which is right here. I took it apart. I could even save this. Alright, well, I had the original right here. And I was like, okay. Before I had jerry-rigged it, I had spliced the wires, and then I connected it to a DeWalt battery, and it was working perfectly fine. Now, it was in my car, and I would literally put it against the contacts on the battery, and it would not want to, roll up. It would not want to, spin. So my window was stuck down for a couple days, and I was just like, okay, I have time to actually look into it. So I opened it up, and right here you have, so you have the housing. Inside the housing you have I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's I know it's a magnet, but I'm not 100% sure on what you call it. But I'm assuming that this transfers current through this whole piece right here. And then you have the contact pieces, which is right here, which actually, as you can see right here, as you can see right here, you have your negative and your positive, yada yada. I checked the soldering. Luckily there was no cracks. Then I checked on the sides. So on the sides of these, there's supposed to be contact patches. Those contact patches, these are cars that are 20 years old. Contact patches go bad. But for mine were just cracked to an extent, and I pulled them apart, and they eventually just, they were just old and they corroded. So I was like, okay, what's another way that I can get contact from right here to this piece right here? So my best solution was some I forget what this shit is called. Wire brush, sort of. I forgot. It's it feels, it's flimsy shit, whatever. So I assumed that it was metal, I was like, okay, I could probably stick this into these holes right here a decent amount to where it grabs contact with this and has flow going through it. So right here, I am going to show you what I exactly did. Is took a little decent sized piece and put it inside of this window motor. And just to show you, I'll probably do this one, but so right now this window motor is working. I put a piece of the wire brush in there, and now both of the contacts, sorry to do this, it's hard to do this with one hand. So now both of the contacts, we'll just leave that one there, working perfectly fine, nice and dandy. That one has, we're gonna actually build this one and put some wire brush in there and see if it actually works. I'm assuming it does. As long as it has contact and as long as current can run through it, you should be able to, fix your problem. Another thing too, I feel like that, and I could be wrong, if I am wrong, please shoot me a comment down below on why I'm wrong. But I was looking at the whole mechanism of how the window motor connects to this bracket. You have the back of the window that goes to right here, and then the front, bottom, on the very bottom pieces. And then you have like your mid mount, and then it's just like a height adjustment. But I was looking at this piece right here in particular, and when I took apart the window motor from this bracket, middle part of the window motor goes right here, and this is what these teeth connect to the spline, or teeth of the motor, and this pivots window motor up, or window up and down. So when I took this off, this was like super stiff, super hard, could barely move it, and it was just it was like as if it was stuck. I noticed that there was some rust on the inside of it. I noticed this was super rusty, and I was like, okay, well, let me put some grease on it, and it did a decent amount. It wasn't like, it was a little still stiff and stuff, so I was like, okay. In between this pivot, or in between these two brackets, because these two brackets connect through this back piece right here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put some degreaser, some WD-40, and try to loosen this up a little bit. So my theory as to why those contacts may have, burned out themselves, or like, also like I said too with age, is that when this becomes too hard, that the window motor overworks itself, ended up burning out those contacts, and hence why you get messed up contacts. And yeah, so like right now this whole pivot is literally easy as like I could like flick it, and it's like it's not as hard as it used to be, because like I would have to like decently put my hand on it and actually move it. So to save you guys some money, like I said, check these contact points, and if your contact points, it'll look like two squares on here. If there's two squares on here, then I would still probably check your contact points, but it may not be, it may be just the motor itself. But highly unlikely, because, these things are built to last, like a decent amount of time. But let's get to building this one, and we'll see if it works. So I'm going to set my phone down, probably do a time lapse of everything, and then go from there. So right here, mechanism goes in here, contact right here, wires right here. So whole thing's taken apart. First, we're gonna put metal into these. So now we have better contacts. They don't move as much. The old one kind of does, but we'll see. Let's put this back together and let's see. So first we're gonna put the wiring back through this hole. Hopefully my phone does not die. Put this wiring back through this hole, put the whole mechanism back into its original place. Either or, you can put the motor back into the to the housing first and then pop it closed. Doesn't have to have the screws in. And let's try this again. So like I said, the last ones were a bit shittier contacts, but let's try this. And as you can see, my theory has been proven right. So as you can see, the window motor is working. I gotta hold it right there. It's really going fast. Oh shoot! Well, this housing is coming off. Let's probably put a screw in there just to be safe. So no more falling out of the housing. But yeah. So if you ever want to fix your window motor, and I know these things are a pain in the butt to find, take it apart. Literally, my dumbass spliced these, but thank God I still have the original piece right here. That way I can connect it to my window amp. Well, the wiring that goes to the window amp, it goes to a different harness. Save yourself some money, and you don't ever have to buy new window motors ever again. So it's most of the time it's just a contact, because these motors are These motors are built to last, like I said. They're not cheaply built, you know. It's not no China bull crap. But yeah, save yourself some money and save yourself some time. I know it's a pain in the ass sometimes taking out those window motors, and you'll scratch up your tint just like I did. But you save yourself some money and time from finding one of these, because literally you will not find them, and especially you will not find them for cheap. Take them apart, look at those contacts. If they're worn out, if they're brittle, if they, you know, will break down, or if they turn into dust, is practically what this did, and this one. Luckily I got that one from my buddy Mike. And take them apart, look at those contacts. If those contacts are bad, put some steel wool in there. Steel conducts electricity and has a current running through, and that's most of the time I feel like is an issue with these. And you literally, you know, save so much. I spent $75 for one window motor, and it's good to have a backup just in case. But, you know, it beats, like, if this goes out again, I'm be like, okay, well, I know this one works again with a new, you know, contact. And hopefully this lasts for long. I'll probably do an update video within the next couple months or so. I'm probably gonna resolder the harness clamp or clip back on, and yeah, I'll probably do an update video within a couple months or after the summer and see how everything's working. And I'll let you know if my amp or anything else is messed up. This whole time I literally thought it was my amp, and it wasn't. It was actually these. They're old, they're brittle. Be careful with them, you know. And if the contacts are bad, put some steel wool and you should be good to go. I hope you guys like this video, and I know it's probably shitty quality because it's off my phone and my hands were like all over the place and shit, but I did the best I could, and I feel like people deserve to know this. And yeah, so hope you guys like it. Give it a fat thumbs up, and if you have any comments or questions or anything else, shoot me a message. I'm learning day to day, and yeah, 240 lifestyles, broken shit, fixed shit, and jerry rig shit is, you know, common shit with these cards. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.